everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of Mint Down the Box. Actually coming to you when it's supposed to come to you. I'm your host, the Godfather of Toys and J-Bomb. I am so impressed with myself that I'm actually filming on time on Sunday night to release this to you on Monday morning. And if it doesn't come to you on Monday morning,
then it's my fault.
And every time you hear that voice, the disembodied voice, it is the lovely one. My wife, my life, Producer Steph. Producer Steph, how are you doing today? How do you explain that we finally are able to do a show on time when we were supposed to?
I got to come home from work early.
And that's all it took. And talk about another whirlwind weekend. We left work on Friday. We drove up to Las Vegas and spent the night, where we went to the Las Vegas Toy Show. And I'm going to show you some pictures of, I got to meet Sergeant Slaughter, as I talked about, and we took some pictures, and here's a little quick peek of our Vegas excursion and meeting Sergeant Slaughter. Hope you like it. After that. So that was our Vegas trip. It was crazy. Again, we were only gone a day. It's hard to stay away for too long because we have a literal Brady bunch of children and other stuff going on amongst, our regular lives on top of doing the show. But we had a good time. The toy show itself was very small. Wasn't as I thought it would be bigger for the advertising I saw of it, because I saw a lot of advertising for it. I still had a good time. I met a lot of people, talked about the show, talked about the toy collecting. So I had a good time. Anytime me and Producer Steph go somewhere, we always find a way to have a good time, no matter if it's a bad situation, good situation.
Or a 6-hour drive to Vegas.
Or a 6-hour drive to Vegas. And to clue you all in, we're 3 hours away from Las Vegas. But I picked up some cool stuff. I got some deals on some vintage stuff I was looking for. But this week, that's not, not just what I do on the road and the vintage stuff. This week, we're going to open up these two WrestleMania Elite collections. You got the Polka Dot Dusty Rhodes and the Hollywood Hogan. This was the Mean Gene Build-A-Figure. I ordered a set, and then I tried to piecemeal it, and I wasn't having a lot of luck finding a figure here, there. Then, lo and behold, Walmart had their shipper. I was able to complete the rest. Not only complete the rest, buy an extra Dusty for my good friend, the Doctor of Belts, Candyman Chris. It was his birthday 2 days ago. I wasn't able to go up last night to watch the UFC with him like I usually do for his birthday, because I had my show stuff in Vegas going on. But I was able to get him a Dusty Rhodes, and it's out there ready to ship to him. So happy birthday, Chris. It's hard to believe that I've celebrated now 44 birthdays with you. So it's a long time. Woo! So I hope you enjoy your Dusty Rhodes and the other big pile of stuff I got there for you. So happy birthday.
I can't wait for my birthday.
I gotta go to work. So, like I said, I really like this set. The only one I really wasn't a big, huge fan of was The Rock, because there's a billion Rock figures. Even though I think Dwayne Johnson, super talented, was a great, there's a billion Rock figures. There's not too many to Dusty Rhodes. Hollywood Hogan, they went from not making a lot of Hulk Hogan figures to, it seems like there's a new Hulk Hogan coming out every single time in every single line. So I'm starting to get a little bit of a Hulk Hogan fatigue. But here's Dusty. Most Dusty Rhodes figures in the polka dots had the black shirt with the yellow polka dots. Here's the short time that he wore the reverse. It's a cool figure, especially if you're a big fan of Dusty Rhodes. I know Candyman Chris is a huge Dusty Rhodes fan. I was as well. Wasn't a huge fan of his WWF run. I'm an old school guy. The stuff he did in the NWA, Florida Championship Wrestling, the Midnight Rider stuff, the Feud of the Four Horsemen, the Judge, the Jury, and Hangman promo for his match against Tully Blanchard, the match with Lex Luger at Starrcade, the spike to the eye. Dusty Rhodes is an icon, and now in the 90s, his son Dustin became a star, became Gold Dust, and now Cody is his youngest son is now going to be main eventing WrestleMania. So his legacy continues. Hulk Hogan, of course, is Hulk Hogan. Everybody knows. No need to go into that. So this Build-A-Figure is the Mean Gene. Everyone knows Mean Gene. Huge. Was the interviewer in the 80s during the WWF's historic meteoric rise to dominate the world of professional wrestling. He had a big run in AWA and then finished off his career in WCW. Everybody loved Mean Gene. He seemed to really compliment when he did his interviews. He seemed to compliment everybody. His wit, everything about him. So everyone loved Mean Gene. So I'm gonna attempt to put this figure together, which is always an adventure here on Mint Out of the Box.
Here comes the fun.
But I think I remember correctly. Yep.
Woo!
Put it in another way, twist it on. So we got the legs on pretty easily.
Now here comes the fun part.
The arms. I was getting hung up on the arms.
Success.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Ooh, sounds like success.
Let's not start counting our chickens just yet.
Wow.
And along with Voltron, all form the head. Ugh. Wow, and just like that, the old school WWF microphone in his hand.
I feel like they all come with microphones lately.
Yeah, because it
And
used to be
3,200 hands.
in the 90s, they came with, it seemed like every figure came with a chair.
Or a briefcase.
Or a crutch, something to hit somebody with. But now wrestling is so much about talking, everybody comes with a microphone now, so.
Oh yeah, because he's got a bullhorn.
Well, that was Jimmy Hart. That was his weapon.
Well.
You weren't around for that.
No, I wasn't.
In 1987, when the Hart Foundation beat the British Bulldogs, and they used the megaphone to hit Dynamite Kid.
I was watching Rainbow Bright.
You were 3.
I know. I don't think I was watching TV at 3.
I cried like I was 3.
Oh, we get along.
That was a traumatic day.
Aww.
Chris, you remember that day.
And I probably lost my Cabbage Patch doll, so I was crying with you.
She's young. Anyway. Here's Mean Gene in all his glory. So it's a cool Build-A-Figure. Like I said, it's kind of been hit or miss with these Build-A-Figures. I like the Mean Gene. Like I said, I did the Paul Ellering the one time, which is weird because there's not a whole lot of Road Warrior or Legion of Doom figures. They did Rey Mysterio. They did Dominic Mysterio, and he looks like a midget Eminem. And then who's the other one? Another Build-A-Figure that we did recently. I can't remember who the other Build-A-Figure was, but this one's cool.
They were in a suit.
Oh, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
The Vince McMahon Build-A-Figure. So, like I said, it's kind of funny. I know I've talked about this before, but I was actually thinking about it for the show. It's kind of getting weird because they're starting to remake all these classic figures now. I mean, because if you look in the stores, the classic figures are what sells. No one buys the new stuff. Everyone's talking about how popular Roman Reigns and the Bloodline storyline and how popular WWE is. And it is. A lot of people watch it. But it's a small, select group of people. And from what it looks like at the toy stores, they're not buying the figures because every time they release a Roman Reigns figure or Bloodline figures, they're still everywhere. And it's not just them, it's all the new figures. They just sit there. You got to scrape and scratch to get the classic stuff. People buy the classic stuff. Well, now they're making so much of it, like I just complained about the Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. They're making so many of them. They're starting to do reruns, and I hear people complaining online. They're going to release the Harley Race figure because they made him in the flashback line, which was a rare line not too long ago, and people are complaining about it because they're like, oh, it's going to kill the value. Let me tell you something about value. I want that Harley Race figure. I want it really bad. I see it on eBay constantly for like $300, $350. take a look around. $350 isn't going to hurt me at all. I blow $350 like nothing because I'm retarded. Well, I'm not going to pay $350 for a Harley race. Why? Because I knew they'd eventually make it again. And that just goes to show you, I have no problem blowing money on dumb shit all the time. I want that Harley race. And if you ask producer Steph, there's stuff I saw at the toy show this weekend. I wanted it. I bought it. Why? Because I paid a premium for the stuff because it was actually vintage. The Harley race, anything that's made in this by Mattel, it's not vintage because they made a buttload of it and it's all still out there and it's hard and it's easy to come by. So it's not worth $350. And now I don't have to pay $350 for it because they're making one anyway. So all you people out there think you're going to get rich doing this, take it from someone that sold a huge wrestling collection at one time. I didn't get rich. So you're not going to either because I just opened these right here. And you know why? Because I got them still in the package out there too. And so does everybody else. I went to a toy show this weekend. Everything I see here, somebody had in the package. I go on eBay. I could look up at any one of these things in here and find it. It's all out there. People save stuff now. It's not rare anymore. My vintage snowspeeder right there. You know why that's vintage? You know why there's a premium on that? Because there's not a lot of them left. Why? Because back in 83 when that's, or 1981 or 82 when that snowspeeder came out, people played with it. People don't play this stuff now. I'm gonna open this Dusty Rhodes and I'm gonna set him over there on that shelf. And you know what? He's gonna sit on that shelf until an earthquake knocks it down. I take it down when I move, or I move it to dust it. Or one of my grandkids or one of my friends' kids come over here and start touching stuff.
Oh, Grayson. Loves shopping in the toy collection.
Yes. So no one's going to play with it. So it's going to be there. And then in 50 years, when I die...
I need it to be longer than 50 years.
Not really, because then I'll be 94.
Oh.
And my uncle who just passed away a couple weeks ago was like 99, so it's a good chance. The point is, people...
You'll be 99 in 50 years.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday. So, my point is, everybody, if you're in this game to get rich off this new stuff, you're going to have to wait a long-ass time and hope China finally attacks us and nukes half the fucking country because the stuff's going to be there. So, do it like I do it. Enjoy it. Take it out. Play with it a little bit. Have a good time. Meet a hot younger woman and have her film you opening the shit. Put it on YouTube. It's fun. Have a good time. Meet me. Run into me at a toy show. Talk to me for 20 minutes while your hot wife runs around dressed scattily clad and having all the dudes look at her while you're standing there talking about when you used to, play with He-Man figures the day after Christmas with some weird guy.
20 minutes. 45 minutes.
Or that. So that's this week's episode, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. I will see you next time, hopefully on time. And thanks for stopping by. See you next week.
I thought we weren't playing with toys anymore.
I'm not.
What are we doing?
I gotta go in the house.